Good evening, guys. Welcome to my live today. I've received a lot of emails, people wanting to relocate to UK as childminders as well as nannies, because rumor has been going around that childminders and nannies can now relocate to UK and they can receive visa sponsorship and they can move together with their family. So the purpose of this video is to clarify things for you. I remember I did a live last week where people asked if they are able to relocate to UK as childminders, locate to UK as nannies, and I indicated that I'm going to do some research and I'll come and share with you some information on whether you can relocate to UK as a nanny or not. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Pauline Popomwayo and I share content on how you can relocate to overseas without breaking a bank. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about how you can relocate to UK as a nanny. If you've joined me in this live, say hi to me. Good evening, Pauline, my namesake, Zara, Snodia. Good evening, guys. I hope you are all doing well. So, this rumor of people being able to locate to UK is there's people have been stating that there's a new visa. People can now locate to UK via this visa route, the nanny visa route. And the truth of the matter is, guys, the visa route for nannies, the visa route for childminders, it's not a new visa route. This visa route has always been there. We came sometime last year. I did share some jobs, or I did share some nanny jobs, and now you can locate to overseas as a nanny. But the reality on the ground is it's not like this is a pathway where every Jack and Jill can actually locate to UK and come to UK as a nanny. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the reasons why I am stating so. Good evening, Esna. Good evening, Nobuhle, Nelly, Tandolenkosi, Cynthia. How are you doing, guys? I am tired because I haven't slept from night shift from last night. But, guys, are you able to relocate to UK to come and work as a nanny? The first thing that you need to know is nanny jobs, they are not like the nanny jobs that we have overseas. For example, let's say maybe you come from South Africa or you come from Zimbabwe or you come from Ghana. There is what we popularly known as a house girl. There's a difference between a house girl and a nanny. A nanny here in UK is someone who's a professional, and that individual needs to be registered. If you're coming here to UK to work as a childminder as well, you also need to register with the government of UK, which means unless you meet that eligibility criteria, you cannot come to UK to come and work as a nanny. I tried to register today, to register as a nanny, because I can, because most of the time before I share information with you, I want to check whether it is possible. So as I was registering in the government website, these are the things that you need, because I know there's been things like, oh, you just need what we call a first aid certificate, and then you need your IELTS, then you can relocate. What you have to understand is when it comes to visa sponsorship, when a job actually says it has got visa sponsorship, it doesn't necessarily mean just because they've said visa sponsorship, they're hiring from overseas, right? There's a defined sponsorship, there's an undefined sponsorship. Defined sponsorship, you are hiring from outside the UK, you are sponsoring someone from outside the UK. Undefined sponsorship, you are sponsoring someone who is within the UK. And the preference for people within the UK for a nanny jobs is 100%, as opposed to someone who is actually overseas. For you to to become a nanny here in the UK, you need to have an insurance, public liability insurance. As you're applying for a nanny job, they will ask you if, as you're applying to register as a nanny, they will ask for your addresses here in UK. They will also ask for your certificate of good standing. If you are not from UK, maybe you're outside the UK in the last 5 years or something like that, they will ask for a certificate of liability. So if you are overseas, because me, I want you to have a clearer picture of what is the reality on the ground, so that because a lot of people have been so excited that we are going to look at as a nanny and so forth, but this is the reality on the ground. Where are you going to get a UK address? for starters, as I tried to register, I put my old Zimbabwean number. It didn't go through. I put my father's Zimbabwean number. It didn't go through. It kept on saying, your number is not recognized. Your number is not recognized, until I eventually put my UK number. And when I put my UK number, it was accepted. As I proceeded with the application, they asked, do you have an insurance for public liability? And if you don't have an insurance for public liability, it is mandatory. You cannot work as a nanny in the United Kingdom, because it's unlike that. It's like unlike back home, you say, oh, I need a maid. I'm just going to pay you this much. You don't even do any background checks. You can come and start work tomorrow. You have to register with the government of UK for you to actually become a nanny here in UK. Now, there is what we call a childminder, because people have been saying, oh, I can come as a childminder. And people are still thinking that being a childminder is just like in most of our countries where you just go and look after children. You also, as a childminder, not only do you need a license, an insurance of public liability, they also need to come and inspect where you stay, because the difference between a childminder and a nanny is that a nanny can look after one family, right? They come and live with me and live with my family, and they can look after my children, one family, right? A childminder a childminder is not someone who goes, let's say maybe you go to someone's house and to take care of the children. A childminder, if I want my child to be minded by a childminder, I actually have to take my child to the childminder. So before the government approves that you become a childminder here in UK, they need to come and assess where you stay. So if you are applying from overseas, where are they going to assess where you stay? Because they need to assess. If I want to turn this house, let's say I want to turn my house into a place where I'm going to be doing child minding, they are going to come, they want to check, is it child proof? Is it good for children? Is there a garden? Is it safe? And then they have to give a good rating. If they're giving a good rating, they give a good rating, and then they grant me a certificate to actually come and to actually be a childminder. But if you are overseas, where are you going to get that place for them to come and inspect so that you become a childminder? And where are you going to get that insurance? Because it's very difficult for you to get an insurance if you're outside UK, right? Even if you're inside the UK, it's also very difficult for you to get insurance when you're inside UK. So before we get excited about relocating to UK as a nanny, just know that this visa route has been in existence, and it was more in existence before before Brexit happened, because before Brexit happened, there was free movement from European countries into UK, free movement. Now, because of Brexit, there is no more free movement between European countries and stuff like that. So people can come from EEA countries, and live here in the UK under pre-settled status. And those people who come and live in UK under pre-settled status, if you're in UK and you're coming from France, or I don't know whether France is in Europe. Is it in Europe? I think it is in Europe. You're coming from France, you're coming from Italy, whatever, you can be given a pre-settled status, right? Which means you can actually live in UK maybe for up to 5 years. And after those 5 years, they can actually give you another pre-settled status if they don't give you indefinite leave to remain, and you live for another 5 years or whatever until you get your indefinite leave to remain. So those individuals who come from EEA countries and are here in UK with a pre-approved status, pre-settled status, are the ones who can actually be offered visa sponsorship, because they simply say for you to become a nanny, they need you to be within the UK, right? So under this visa route, there are two types. Though there was a temporal one where they can grant you maybe for 6 months. You come and work for 6 months. You go back to Italy. You go back to France. You go back to where, but you don't go back to South Africa or to Zambia or to Zimbabwe or to Nigeria or Ghana. Understand that, guys? Understand? So if you are overseas, it's the chances. I don't want to sugarcoat things for you guys. I don't want you to get excited. I don't want to lie to you. If you are overseas, the chances of the UK government approving you to come and work in the UK as a nanny, as a childminder, are very, 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 very slim. I have to emphasize that because of all these other requirements which are needed. And understand, I'll emphasize this. Just because a job says visa sponsorship, you have to differentiate. There are two types of visa sponsorship, like I've already said: defined, which can hire from overseas, and undefined, which hires within the United Kingdom. So someone from Italy with the pre-settled status can actually use that visa route, right? Then there's this thing that you can actually come to UK as a skilled worker under the skilled worker visa with your and come and work as a nanny. Remember, if you are working as a nanny, if you are to use a skilled worker visa, whosoever is hiring you from overseas, guys, needs to have a license to sponsor, right? And if you are a nanny, you're going to be working for families. How many families within the United Kingdom are going to apply for a license to sponsor you from overseas? Because being a nanny, you work for families. You don't work for, very rarely, of course, you might go and work for a company. Maybe they go and deploy you and so forth. But when you are a nanny, this is a delicate job, guys. You cannot take a complete stranger from overseas, from far there in Ghana or Nigeria, whatever, to come and take care of your children when they don't have a proven track record, when you cannot trace how they've been like, and so forth and so on. I don't know whether they've got any questions so far, or you do understand what I'm trying to, the point that I'm trying to put across. Let me just go back and see if there are any questions. And if you have any questions so far, do drop them in the comment section, and do me a favor, do smash that like button just to show me that you are benefiting from what I'm sharing with you and to motivate me to do more videos. So, hi Simpiwe, how is South Africa? I love South Africa. No, for your hi Popo, if it's one-on-one. Okay, if you want to have a one-on-one with me, you can book on what do you call this? You can book on Calendly. You can have a one-on-one session. Very insightful. I'm interested. I know a lot of people, guys, why I'm doing this video is because a lot of people have come to my inbox and they said, oh, they want to relocate as nannies because they've got this picture that a nanny is someone who takes care of children, because that's what we know from overseas. But here, that is not what a nanny actually, a nanny is someone who's actually registered, and you have to go through the protocol that I've just mentioned for you to actually come and work here within the UK. Okay, guys. So I don't want us to get overexcited, because the chances of getting a job are extremely slim. You can get an opportunity where you can take care of children. You can get an opportunity to come and work as an au pair, because an au pair is obviously someone who comes from overseas, and there's exchange of cultures and so forth. That's the only opportunity that you can come. You can come through to UK, right? Even last year when we shared nanny jobs with visa sponsorship, you see that the topic just died down. It died a natural death. Why? Because there are people who are tempted to apply for the nanny jobs, and we quickly realize that no, this visa sponsorship that we're talking about doesn't necessarily mean that if they are saying there's a skilled worker visa and they are hiring out of the UK. Skilled worker visa to hire within the United Kingdom. I hope this was very clear to you guys, or this is very clear to you guys. Let me see. Passionate to work as a nanny in a company, if any vacancies. You are not going to be hired from overseas. Let me just put it that way, guys. You are not going to be hired from outside the UK to come and work as a nanny. The chances are very slim. Chances are very slim because of all these things that you need to register with the government of UK, the licenses, the public liability insurances. And if you're coming as a childminder, the fact that they have to come and check where you stay, they have to, look at the environment and approve that you can actually work as a childminder. Of which, if you're overseas, you do not have a place where you can work as a childminder. You do not have a house where they can come and inspect. You have no accommodation. You have nothing in the United Kingdom, right? So how do you become a childminder when you don't have a place where you're going to be minding those children? You understand? So let us bear that in mind, and whenever an opportunity is presented to us, before we get excited, let us go and do our own research. Is it really possible? What are the requirements, and so forth and so on, right? It's not a new visa route in addition. Nana Upper Alpha, good evening. Ghana, how are you? Kurakwashe Choka, how is Manchester? You should invite me. I'm just a stone throw away. Margaret Ree, I'm aware of people who have gone to Germany from Zim as au pairs. Going as an au pair, Margaret, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Anyone can go as an au pair. But what you have to understand is when you're going as an au pair, it is a strict visa route. They say, well, these are the rules, because I was checking for the United Kingdom. For the United Kingdom, if you want to come as an au pair, there's an age restriction. I think it's 18 to 30 years of age. You don't have to be having children, right? Which means you're supposed to be a single person to come as an au pair, because you don't want a situation whereby I want to relocate as an au pair and I'm bringing my family, because it's not a visa route which enables you to come with your family. You understand, guys? Trish, hi Popo, I need to help with CV. I'm going to drop the link in the description box where you can actually book for a CV construction. And by the way, guys, if you saw the post that I put a few days ago, one of us has gotten a job through a CV that we constructed for them a couple of months ago. I was over the moon. I was excited because this is not the first person who has actually secured a job. This is the second person who has secured a job. Others have been invited for interviews. The most important thing is that, is your CV good enough to go before an employer and get invited for interviews? It's unfortunate if you go and fail the interview. That one is on you. But at least the CV did get you what? An interview. Understand, guys? And for interview preparation, in case you don't know how to prepare for interviews, you can also book a session for interview preparation. Popo, is the pathway for pastors still there? Any links? Yes, the pathway for pastors is still there. See, most of the times, guys, you see when you come and present visa routes and you see them dying a natural death because they die, there's this hype, because I was seeing all over social media, there's this hype about people relocating as nannies, and you see it dying a natural death. It's because people would have tried and it wouldn't have been successful. Because if it's obviously successful, we come and say, oh, it's been successful. Look at the health and care worker visa route. We started talking about it, I think it's now 2 years ago. Yeah. We started talking about the health and care worker visa since 2 years ago. But because this visa route has been, people have been gainfully employed, people have been coming to UK, we keep on hammering about the health and care worker visa route and so forth and so on, right? But if you look at these other visa pathways, if you see that this one has applied, this one has failed, because I've had people who have come in through the temporal, like the farm worker visa, and then when the 6 months was up, they're asking, how can I switch and so forth and so on. It's not for people who, for example, want to come and switch to other employers. You come, you work for 6 months, you go back. And then for this pathway for pastors, yes, if you get a church, because you have to be affiliated to that church. It's not a visa route for everyone. You have to understand that, because people will think that whatever visa route comes is for it's not for everyone. It's for people who are religiously affiliated to, if you're religion, if you're affiliated to that religion, yes, and you are a pastor or a whatever, a minister of whatever, I'll look for current roles, and if you're interested, I'll come and share with you. In short videos, I'll do short videos, just 1 minute videos, so that I don't make them too long. And those who are interested and meet the eligibility criteria can actually apply. Maria Velapitube says, hello, looking nice. Thank you. Care assistant for the hospital. What are the qualifications? I mean, essay. Also, my niece just done Red Cross training. Not much experience. Can she get an NHS job in a small town? No, she can't. because NHS is high on experience. They need experience. If you want to go and work in the NHS, you need to have experience. And if you want to work as a care assistant in the NHS, it depends on which role you are undertaking. Some roles, there's a carer, there's a care worker role. Care worker roles are just roles where you are assisting residents with, let me say patients, because in hospital there are patients. You're assisting patients with activities of daily living, feeding, grooming, assisting with mobility, and so forth and so on. Then there are then 3 roles: nursing assistants or senior nursing assistants or something of that sort, where you are doing things like catheterization, venipuncture, collection of blood and so forth. So you have to check which role you want to apply to. If it's just a care worker, then you don't need to do. But I would encourage you to go and do things like venipuncture, because those are the roles which actually land you a job here within the UK. And someone says, am I going crazy? Did she just fart? Me! No, I didn't fart. And if I farted, there's nothing wrong with farted. Each and every one of us farts. Everyone farts. You fart, I fart, everyone farts. Is there anyone who can raise their hand and say they've never farted in their lives? But I didn't fart on a live. I wouldn't do that. Cherry Stacy, if you have an OPE certificate, go ahead and apply. Hello, Popo. Do you think this is a good idea to switch to the childminder? From what visa route? If you're thinking of switching from a care worker visa to a childminder visa, no, it is not a good idea. Non-Sugi, so it's not a good idea. If you are using a care worker visa route, you rather be a care worker, and then as you become a permanent resident or whatever, you can now go to wherever, what you can now do whatever route you want to undertake, whether childminder or whatever. Because when it comes to childminder, you know that UK. Good evening, Peggy. I hope you're doing well. When it comes to childminders here in UK, you know that UK does not play with children. That's why it's important that you have a license, an insurance for public liability, because that one is a very, very stressful job. To be a childminder, you'll be sued left, right, and center if you're not adhering to the rules and regulations and all that. And it is very stressful. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy. I like saying that. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you would rather do the care worker route and then decide maybe years later or whatever, when you're now settled in UK, that, oh well, I now want to be a childminder and so forth. Because childminders, they earn handsomely, like they make a lot of money. You can go and drop your child with a childminder, and they can actually charge you £10 an hour. They can charge you £15 an hour for minding your child. And then Maria Dube, is the farm worker or a security guard visa still available? For farm worker jobs, yes, they are available, because I actually checked them yesterday. Farm worker jobs, yes, they're available. Security, no, there are no security roles. But for farm worker jobs, there are 2 types of visa routes that you can actually undertake under the farm worker jobs. One is a temporal visa, and the second one is a skilled worker visa. Temporal visa does not enable you to come with your family, and you only come here for 6 months and you go back to your country. And I read an article yesterday, because I want to be abreast with I always keep myself abreast with the current trends when it comes to immigration. They took a lot of people. They did take a lot of people from Nepal. They took a lot of people from Asian countries. But those people are also now crying, just like the health and care worker visa route. They were made to pay ridiculous sums of monies to come here to UK. And when they came here to UK, they worked in the farms, thinking that they're going to, because people tend to lie through their teeth and say, come as a farm worker, you're going to earn this much, £20 an hour or whatever. And then the reality on the ground, you get there are floods, things are destroyed, the crops are destroyed, there's nothing much to harvest and things like that. At the end of the day, you don't make much. You left your home, you have to go back to Nepal, you are in debt. And you also paid exorbitant agency fees. And when you go back to your country after, because they're saying they sold this, they sold that, and sold that, because they were promised that they are going to get thousands and thousands of pounds, which was not the reality on the ground. So I'll emphasize this, guys. if you are choosing whatever visa route you want to choose, do thorough research before you get on that plane and land here in UK, because you don't want to be here in UK and you, one, you lose money, two, you are suffering, three, you become a destitute, four, you become very poor and all that. So do proper research before you get on that flight and fly to the United Kingdom, or you undertake any visa route, regardless of whether you're coming to UK or you're going to any other country, whether it's Ireland, whether it's, do proper research before you relocate. Alice World. Oh, now I understand this one who's complaining. I'm sitting on a stool and this the one which is making noise. Are males eligible for child minding? Well, see, me personally, myself, when I've got a daughter, my daughter, I'll never, ever leave my daughter with a male childminder. Understand? I'll never leave my daughter with a male childminder. You understand? Because it's, can you imagine taking your 3-year-old child and going to leave a 3-year-old girl with a childminder, a 4-year-old girl? The UK is full of child molesters. I don't want to lie. Understand? So even if they've been vetted and whatnot, I am sorry, I don't trust men. You see, I do not trust men. So even if you want to become a child minder, even if it's a me, I don't know, maybe it's my mentality, because I've seen a lot of things happening. I don't even feel safe with leaving my boy child with a child minder who's male, because they can do the back passage, you know. A lot of kids have been groomed and whatever, because some childminders use their back passages, and you wouldn't be mind, as a parent, you won't be knowing that my child's backside has been abused, you see. So male childminders, it's very rare that you get clients, because personally I would not bring a boy child or a girl child to a male childminder, given the history, or given the, you know, all these events that have been happening. People, there are so many predators out there, I'm sorry to say. If you want to become a male childminder, Tafla, I wouldn't recommend it, because that's the honest truth. How many mothers want to leave their children with males when males are this dangerous? Hi Papa, please help me with apprenticeship programs for physiotherapy. I have a diploma, so NHS is hard. Do you know that it's not, you know, I've seen a lot of videos, or you can come as an apprenticeship, whatever, to the NHS because there is visa sponsorship. Guys, visa sponsorship does not mean that every visa sponsorship means you're hiring outside the United Kingdom. You have to understand that. Yes, if there's assistant physiotherapist with visa sponsorship, yes, you can come from overseas with as an assistant. But most of these apprenticeship programs, they usually do them for people who are, I think I did a video last week when I was talking of NHS, whereby you are already within the NHS and you want to move from one field to the other. You want to move from being a senior care assistant to becoming a nursing assistant. You want to move from a nursing assistant to become a nurse, like nurse, a registered general nurse. Then you undertake that apprenticeship program. Let's say maybe you came under sponsorship as a care worker, and then you join apprenticeship as a care worker. You know, it's very easy for us to come and say to you, oh, come to UK, you can use the apprenticeship route because there is visa sponsorship. No, visa sponsorship is defined and undefined, higher within the UK, higher with outside the UK. So some of these apprenticeship programs, even if you see them with the visa sponsorship, they can be having visa sponsorship but sponsoring people within the UK. You can see even for care workers, people are applied left, right, and center. Care workers, they're being told we are offering visa sponsorship, but undefined, only for those who are within the UK. So bear in mind that when you see any job, even if it says visa sponsorship, it does not mean that you can be sponsored from outside the UK. It can say visa sponsorship and sponsor EEA citizens and so forth within the UK. You have to be mindful of that. So it's not easy to get an apprenticeship job or get into an apprenticeship program from overseas. Precious, you have missed a lot. You watch the live because you can start it from the start once I am done. Explorer, I've just watched 3 YouTubers saying it's possible starting from today to use the nanny route. As someone who has been patiently waiting for this route, I believe that this route has started. Okay, this visa route was in existence. If you want, you can go on Google. If you go on my channel, you see that I shared this visa route sometime last year. Nanny jobs with visa sponsorship, £55,000 per annum, right? But even if this visa route is on the shortage occupation list, blah, 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 because of all the limitations that I've mentioned, even if they say from today, because with the effect from today, is today the 4th of April? I'm not even sure. With effect from today, the new shortage occupation list and what, it has a new name now. Everything is coming into effect. But all those, the nanny visa route, and so it has always been in existence. You understand? That's why we shared jobs last year and so forth. It's not something which is new that you have to be excited about, like the health and care worker visa route, where they actually said we have added a new role. Those were always there on the shortage occupation list. They've always been there. And don't get excited about it because there are so many limitations. Applying from outside UK, they need UK numbers for you to register as a nanny. They need you to be within the UK. They need you to have a settled status, a status of some sort, for example, a pre-settled status within the United Kingdom. Because children are vulnerable. We are dealing with vulnerable people here, and it's not easy to get someone from far away there to come and say, I don't know you, and so forth, and I start taking care of your children. You need to be vetted and all that. If you are a child minder, because you are saying you are interested in this child, if you are a child minder, where are you going to get a place where you're going to be taken? Because a child minder is not like you're going to be like you are taking care of more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 children. Where are you going to get the premises to care for those children? You have to understand that. So let us not get over excited, because the reality on the ground is they're not going to be hiring people from far away there, people from outside EEA, because some visas are specifically for people within the EEA, European Union, because of Brexit. You know that Brexit happened, and when Brexit happened, before Brexit, people could easily move in and out of UK, but within the European Union. But now, because of Brexit, if you want to hire, because previously they were hiring like Italy, Spain, France, whatever within the UK. But now, if you want to work from Italy to here, you need a visa. You understand? You need a visa. So these roles, they are open for these people who are here, like who can easily come to UK and so forth, EEA and whatever, you know. Because when they come here to UK, they're going to be given that pre-settled status, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying. But the things I haven't watched other. I know that it has been shared on YouTube, but at times you don't have the time to go and watch. Normally, I prefer not to watch what other YouTubers are saying, because I don't want to copy other people's content or something of that sort. I prefer to do my own research and share my own information. And most of the time, I don't answer questions like, oh, this YouTuber said this, or this YouTuber said that, or that YouTuber said that, because they would have done their own research. My research that I have done actually says that people should not get overexcited about this, because you are not... Actually, the statement that I read actually said, if you are applying from outside UK, wanting to come to work as a nanny, you are wasting your time. That's what the statement actually said, because you are not going to be approved. I forget the name of the organization which approved. They stated that you are wasting your time. Exactly that statement, that wasting your time. and you're not going to I'll see whether I'll screenshot that and put it in my community page so that you see what I'm talking about. Sophie, thank you so much for the compliment. Celine Jones, shout out to you. Thank you for joining in the live. And then I want to apply for sponsorship, ma'am. Is the portal open yet? For nanny jobs, the portal was open from ages ago, because this is a visa route which was always in existence. If you want to register as a nanny, if you want to go and try it out, I can actually leave the link in the description box so that you go and try it out yourself, and you see that before you even proceed to step 2 or step 3, you will get stuck. You get stuck on what you call this, you get stuck on phone number. You also get stuck when they ask for your postcode, because they ask for your postcode and your previous addresses in the past 5 years. What postcode are you going to put there when you're now applying for a job? Because as you put a postcode, if I put a postcode like BT69FB, they will reveal the numbers, the house numbers under BT69FB. Which number are you going to choose if you are there in Ghana, or you're there in Nigeria, in Zimbabwe, South Africa, or wherever you are? Which number are you going to choose to register as a nanny? Because you have to be registered. It's a profession on its own. You have to be registered. You have to go and do your first aid certificate. CPR as well is important if you are coming to work if you are working as a childminder. CPR, child CPR, first aid training, and then insurance. Which company is going to agree to give you an insurance when you are outside UK? Because before you secure a job, you need to be insured. Do you get where I'm going with this, guys? I think I'm making myself clear. Do you get where I'm going? Like, let's not take information on face value that visa sponsorship, oh, it's now in the shortage occupation list. Go and do more research. I think I've talked a lot. 37 minutes is too much. And do you have any more last few questions? So I just wanted to share with you this reality on the ground, that please don't get excited about this visa route. Guys, don't get excited, because you get excited, you go and do your first aid training, and then you'll be disappointed when you're now trying to register. Because I've already done that part for you. I've already tried to register as a nanny. I've already tried to register as a childminder. I will give you the links so that you go and try yourselves, and you see that you get stuck in the first page or second page or third page before you even proceed to the 8th or 9th or 10th page, because the things that they need, you don't have them when you're overseas. So yes, they are offering visa sponsorship, undefined visa sponsorship, EEA citizens, pre-settled status citizens, those who are within the UK and are needing visa sponsorship and things like that. They can try those rules, but they have to go through all the necessary steps for them to actually become, childminders, nannies, and so forth and so on. I'm a single mom. I have sole custody for my 2 children, but Home Office denied my visas. I'm stressed. I'm a nurse in the UK. This is a very tough one, Nyasha, but you have to appeal it, because what the problem is, some of us, we do not submit all the required documents by a Home Office, and now Home Office is just denying visa because of scandals. I came here as a single mom. I did write a letter that I saw custody. I got a letter from the courts, like from where probably Nyashamoya from Zimbabwe. I also got a court, like I did a court order, which indicates that I have sole custody of the children. Because most of the time, instead of us going to court to ask for a court order, which is stamped by the courts of Zimbabwe, indicating, I'm just assuming that you're from Zimbabwe since you're Nyashamoya, indicating that you've got sole custody and guardianship of the children. Sometimes you just want to let the father write the affidavit and say, write an affidavit and say you've got sole custody. And so I made an application which went into the magistrate courts, and I used the letter. I used the affidavit from the father, which says she's the one who's got custody, blah, blah, blah. and took that to the courts, and the courts actually said this is the reality on the ground. Besides, if you are coming from Zimbabwe, because I've already assumed that you're from Zimbabwe because your name is Nyashamoy, you have to go and get a court document which indicates that in Zimbabwe, if a mother and a child, if a father and a mother separate from they're separated or they're divorced or whatever, the mother has sole custody as guardianship for the child until the child is 18 years old. So get that document from the courts. I had to apply, I had to pay a lawyer to do all that so that I don't get denied a visa. Because if you do an affidavit, anyone can do an affidavit. Anyone can write and swear in an affidavit that I am not, even if you are together, I am not responsible, blah, blah, blah. But if you go through the court is more authentic, or the court is holds more water than the affidavit from your husband or something of that sort. You understand? So contest that. Go and get documents from the court, apply through the High Court or whatever court in Zimbabwe. They will give you a stamped letter, magistrate's letter, and you use that magistrate's letter. All right. Thank you so much for your honest, guys. We like keeping things real. We don't want you to waste your money. We don't want you to waste your time. We don't want you to waste your energy running around saying, and I want to become a nanny in UK, and then you get disappointed. You rather hear the truth now so that when you want to make a decision, you make an informed decision. Me, I don't block anyone from coming to UK, but if there are opportunities which I know that you can benefit from, I'll come and share them with you, right? But I'll not come and promise you heaven on earth or lie to you and say, yes, guys, hurry up, because there are so many jobs with the visa sponsorship there, but they're not hiring everyone. There are HGV driver roles, like people are driving these big trucks and everything with visa sponsorship. But when I did my research, I saw that, okay, they're not going to hire someone who's driving a lorry down there in South Africa because there's a certain certificate that they want here in UK. So I'll not come and say, oh, HGV driver jobs with visa sponsorship. But they have visa sponsorship for people within the UK or within EEA. Let's get that. You asking if I'm gay? You gay? No, I am not. But if there's nothing wrong with being gay, we don't judge people for their sexuality. Understand? But I'm not. I love men. Oh my God, I love men. I love men, and I love the what you call this. I love the eggplant. So I'm not gay. I love my eggplant. So I'm not. I love men. I love my eggplants. I'm not. I'm Kenyan and I really want to come to UK as a caregiver or a nanny. I think I would just advise you to come as a care assistant rather than a nanny, because that visa route is open. Guys, if you have benefited from this video, may you kindly smash that like button. Share this video with those who are interested in relocating to UK as nannies, because it has been, my DM has been bam, 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 bam with messages. I want to come as a nanny. I want to come as a nanny. I promised in my life that no, I would do research. Then I'll come and share with you. And this is the research that I have done. The chances of you getting a nanny job with visa sponsorship are slim unless you have landed your feet here in UK and you take the necessary steps to become a nanny or a child mother within the UK. Then we can talk. But if you are far out there, it's going to be difficult. Okay, guys. Otherwise, if there are no more questions, I'll just wait for 2 more minutes and see if there are any more questions. If there are no more questions, that will be it. Do me a favor, kindly smash the like button. It is free. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss any of my fantastic videos, even if I say so myself. All right. No matter, I'll leave my link in the description box if you want to get in touch with me. Otherwise, guys, 1 more minute, because I just want this left before 5 minutes. 1 more minute. If there are no more questions, I'll be saying goodbye. If you've got a question, quickly drop it before I say goodbye. Any more questions? No. Okay. So if there are no more questions, guys, thank you so much for watching. If non-Zugiso, you want to switch to nanny, not a good idea. Unless you go through the protocol and everything. Yeah, you need to have childcare. There are a lot of things that you need to come as a nanny in UK. It's not that easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. Okay. My Instagram link is pauline.popo.moyo. Men cannot apply as childminders. Even if they apply, their chances of getting clients are slim. All right, so that is it, guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and join me on this live. I hope that you go and do your further research. This is the research that I have done for you, and I really appreciate you coming to join me on this live. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. Kindly smash the like button, turn on the notification bell. If you are subscribed, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. Spill the tea. I'm a man like in Northern Ireland, and I work in childcare. Good for you, but I would not come and leave my child with you even if you work in childcare, because there are so many predators out there, and most women don't prefer male childminders. They prefer female childminders for obvious reasons. Thank you, sis Maxamud. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.